Recorded live on the North Coast, Scotty does a show with guest John RAAB, plus UFC 262 predictions, today's top 5, and more. And now, time to make some real money, Scott Marion.
All right, what's up, everybody? What's happening? What it is? What's going down? What is the word on the street? Welcome to the show. Here where we have our finger on the pulse and our ear to the ground, making sure we know what's going on with society. I am your coach. You can call me Scott. You can call me Coach Scott. No need to call me sir unless you owe me money, of course. Mr. Marion, if you're nasty. Welcome to the show. I want to keep everybody posted. Again, I had a great time with Dan Sumter in here on the last show. I am very fortunate to have just some incredible people at my fingertips to be able to come on the show. Not just incredible people, but incredible people that I've had in my life for a long time. Dan's one of those guys, and for him to share some of the things that he did, I got to learn a lot about the guy, and it's amazing how you can know somebody for decades and not understand some things about him. So, special thanks to you for that, Dan. It was awesome. I'd love to have you come back sometime. We definitely didn't have a problem shying or getting into some controversial or semi-controversial subjects. And one of the things that I want to promote here on the show is I'm not going to shy away from things like that. But I also like having somebody on that knows what the hell they're talking about. So I'm not going to get into certain subjects and just spout off because I can read a statistic that doesn't make me an expert. But if I have somebody on that has been experiencing things firsthand, just life-changing things, and then their opinion, and again, regardless of their gender, regardless of their age, regardless of their skin color, I want to listen to them and I want to hear what they have to say. And if there are other people out there that want to get involved with those types of discussions, want to get involved with some debates and things, I'm open to that as well. So if there's anybody out there that has differences of opinions and things and want to get involved, absolutely, I welcome that. The definition of ignorance is refusing knowledge, and I don't want to do that. So if there's people out there that know things, I want to learn. So again, thanks to Dan for coming in, and I look forward to learning some more from some other great people in the future. And it's just great just seeing things progress. And again, thank you everybody for all the awesome feedback out there. It's just been amazing. So moving on to some recent news. I talked about the art projects I have coming up. It's going to be great getting ready for that gallery show. Humbling, exciting at the same time. Awesome. I haven't the last gallery show I had in Columbus. This one's going to be up here in the Cleveland area. It's going to be accessible to a lot more people that I've known for a long time. And the show we had in Columbus was a great turnout. So I'm expecting and hoping that, well, fingers crossed that there's not another global meltdown, that we'll be able to enjoy that here at the end of the summer. It's going to be awesome. So, again, thank you very much for that. Moving on to some MMA news, the UFC 262 is coming up this weekend. Very, very interesting fight. The vacant lightweight title that was owned by Khabib Nurmagomedov forever and defended the title, retired undefeated. Now we have two contenders that are going to be competing for the title, and then we have another former interim title holder that is a little bit on the, you could say, when you go through a mixed martial arts career and you start hitting near the end of that, the mid to the late 30s. It gets to be a bit of a challenge when you, in sports like that, in sports in general, but in combat sports, you really do work on surges, whether it be wrestling or fighting. The best time to win a match is right after you've won one. The worst time to lose a match is right after you've lost one. So when you get into that type of momentum, it's hard to get off of that track. So in the two fights I'm going to focus on for 262 in the co-main, we have Benail Dariush, who's going to be taking on the former interim champion I was just speaking about, Tony Ferguson. Tony, who at one point in time had over a 10-fight win streak, was the interim lightweight champion, was scheduled to face Khabib 5 times. 5 times that fight fell out for just crazy reasons, to the point people thought that fight was cursed. Tony's on a bit of a skid now. I love Tony Ferguson. If this was a 5-round fight, I would vote for El Kukui, just because of his cardio being off the charts and the way that guy just gets stronger as the fight goes on. But it's not. It's a 3-round fight. The betting favorite right now is Dariush, and I'm gonna lean towards him to win that fight. Again, you talk about surges. He's on a bit of an upsurge right now. Tony is on a bit of a down. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I love Tony. I love to see Tony get a victory here and climb back into contention. But Khabib said it, when you're 37 years old and you've had those kind of wars that Tony's had, it's not just the age, but it's just the fatigue. And you've said it a million times that even if you have a chin made of iron, eventually it erodes away. And is that the case with Tony? I don't know. He's been beaten up pretty bad the last 10 rounds of his career. So we'll see. So that's my pick for the co-main event. I pick Dariush to win that. In the main event, the relative newcomer to the UFC, Iron Michael Chandler, the former multiple-time Bellator lightweight champion, who knocked out Dan Hooker in his debut, is going to be taking on Charles de Bronx Oliveira, who, speaking of Tony Ferguson, just recently put on a clinic against Tony in his last fight. I'm going with Charles in this fight. Charles he's been in the UFC for 10 years. He's still only 31 years old. Came in as a elite level jiu-jitsu guy, and now his striking has caught up. He can do everything. I wouldn't be, even though he's a jiu-jitsu guy, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up knocking out Michael Chandler. But if there's a guy I want to root for, it's Michael Chandler. Not only is he the American, not only is he this guy who he worked his butt off as a walk-on at Missouri to be an All-American. He is a true good guy. Everything I see and hear about him as a man and as a human and as a husband and a father and as a coach, does everything right. I just feel that the style of Charlie is just going to be too much for him. That being said, I feel like if Chandler's going to win this fight, he's going to win it early. But my prediction is going to be Oliveira is going to either put him away late, or he's going to grind out a victory. So I'm going to go with Oliveira being our new lightweight champion. I'm going to go with Dariush making a statement as a legit contender. Tony, I love you. I hope that I hope I'm wrong, but my gut and everything tells me that, just like we just saw with Cowboy, that again, our sport, it's a young man's sport. There's a reason why you don't see 50-year-old men playing outside linebacker in the NFL, and there's a reason why you don't see 45-year-old men competing for championships in mixed martial arts. There's a reason why we don't see that. I know it firsthand. To go out there and compete against somebody half your age, it's a difficult thing to do. So again, I hope I'm wrong, and best of luck to all of the fighters this weekend. UFC 262 should be a great fight. I don't believe we're going to be doing a fight companion for it. There's always a possibility. We'll see. The response from the last one was great. And speaking of which, if you go on YouTube, you'll take a look for anybody that watched that fight companion and or saw the fight where Chris Weidman, his leg basically did it did what Anderson Silva happened to him 8 years ago. That guy, there's videos of him, he's already on his feet. He's already walking. He's already lifting his leg up and doing rehab. That guy's going to fight again. Will he be what he was? At this point, again, you talk about a guy 37, 38 years old, if he competes again, the odds of him competing for a title are very slim. But I have a feeling it's more than that to him. At this point, if you've been a world champion, you've defended that title, when you have a horrific injury like that, and again, I'm not in the guy's head, but if it was me, I would just want to say I'm going to do it again. I don't give a damn if I'm going to win. I don't give a damn if I'm gonna win the title. Of course, I mean that would be a goal, but to accomplish that, to just do that after an injury like that at that age. I mean, Anderson did it, but to do that and then retire and literally go out on your feet that would be great. But again, best of luck to Chris and his recovery for that as well. So, and also good luck to all the. And that brings me to my guest here today. So again, we've here rolling right along in the Scott Cave with my the never-ending just list of lifelong friends that are, we'll just say, unique, interesting, have their own take on things. Definitely great stories. The tradition rolls on here today. So again, to say that I've known this guy, Ron, you're probably close to 50 now, if you're not 50 already.
I'm 49.
Okay, so he's almost there, and I'm right around. Yeah, I'm chasing the corner, and not far.
Good
so
Lord.
It's been at least 3 decades on a regular basis. I've known this guy. We grew up together out in Wellington. We were actually a couple guys out into the Brighton area. We were the country boys. We weren't the townies like some of you punks in town. You know who you were. We had your number. Don't worry, on the ball field. We all knew that. So.
Right.
So we grew up playing ball together. And actually, one of my favorite stories, which we'll get into in a minute here, was right after John graduated. The summer of 1990 was definitely, at that age for me, it was my favorite summer.
Me too.
For a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
And now, again, I've been to rock shows with John. I've been to, just hanging out with John. I've seen him and his band perform. He's now the lead singer of a band called Dirt. I don't know how many shows that they've done in the area here, but I think I went to
just over 100. Just over 100.
That's
man.
crazy.
100 and some change.
Yeah, that's incredible. So, again, without further ado, I just welcome to the show, John RAAB. Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it's awesome to have you on, man.
Same here, man.
It's thinking about. I mean, we could sit here. I try to tell my guests I expect it to be an hour. Dan was here for 3. I don't expect us to do it, although we easily could.
We'll see.
Yeah, well. And just some of the stories and things that we shared, highs and lows for sure.
Right.
And John had a twin brother, Jason, growing up, and Jason and John, we all played ball.
Right.
One of the first things I remember was hearing that you guys would switch classes.
We did.
Because you were identical twins.
We did.
You guys would switch classes and mess with people.
Yes.
And I remember hearing that thing. That was the coolest thing ever. And how many times did you guys do that?
The only one I really remember that's in my head is 4th grade. I remember we had a spelling test.
And see, that's perfect. It's right before you guys kind of really, because I was around you guys a lot, so I could tell the big difference, but a lot of people couldn't.
Right.
Because we were young enough then.
Well, the kicker was I'm left-handed, he's right-handed. So I remember taking that spelling test, and it was a bitch. I'm trying to write right-handed.
I didn't know you guys were opposite hands.
Yeah.
No kidding.
We were called mirror image twins.
You know what? That makes sense now. Okay.
Yes.
So that's a different category than identical.
Yeah, and I think it was Mrs. Dunlap's class, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember getting ratted out by Janine Barzik.
I wasn't there, so I can't.
No.
Let's see. Well, okay.
We would have got away with it though.
And you guys got somebody Janine sold you out, huh?
She sold us out.
Wow.
I remember hearing about it.
Well, I don't know Janine that well, but I don't think it was a malicious thing.
No.
And when you're 9 years old, 10 years old, it's hard to say.
There's always that one class narc.
Well, there's
always one.
Remember how the person in class, like, wait a minute, we're supposed to have a test today?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, yeah.
Is what it is. That was umpteen years ago, so who gives a shit?
Forever. Good point.
Right.
That was the.
It's just funny.
Yeah, I remember the first thing, because I didn't, growing up in Wellington, how many minorities did I know? How many twins did I know?
Exactly.
Very few.
Exactly.
So that was just, when you guys were,
we were probably the only twins.
The only twins that I knew growing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know any.
Yeah.
In school, in college, I knew triplets in college.
Sweet. Were they chicks?
Yeah.
Sweet. Even better.
I didn't know them like that.
Damn.
Yeah, well, I can't.
Anyway.
I can't say it was that cool of a story, but Yeah, you have the first twins that I knew. But to be fair, the classes that I had, I don't think I had any classes with your brother. I had French class with you.
Me, that was fun.
And I think maybe an art class or a study hall or something. But I didn't have any classes with Jason.
We had a lot of laughs. I remember.
Man, okay. Here's a crew. Me and you, Fantine, and Jim Berarducci in the same French class.
Right.
In the same class. We sat in the same row.
Yeah.
I think that was the order that we sat in.
Yeah.
I think it was Jamie, then me, then Jim, and then you, if I remember.
Right.
But I mean, it's look, we went to a high school that had less than 600 kids in it.
Right.
Everybody knew everybody, and nobody gave a shit about learning any French at all. I didn't care about learning any French. Nobody did. And even back then, I remember saying there was a question that we raised, like, why aren't we learning Spanish? And this was in the late 80s. Why?
Right.
Even then.
Right.
Why are we learning French?
Right.
I don't hear anybody ever speaking French anywhere here in the United States.
Shit. I know.
But even then, I was hearing people speaking Spanish. So
to me, I think I was a senior that year, and I took it as a fill-in bullshit class.
Probably.
Just to fill in my time. I didn't care.
I remember we had it right before lunch, though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I remember is we had it before lunch because we'd have to we'd pick on Fantine all the time.
Right.
We'd give him a hard time.
I remember.
There was the rag on Fantine day.
Right on.
That he hated.
I remember.
And I know he's going to hear this because I know he's excited about you being on here. He's excited about Dan as well. Yeah, he's volunteered to be on. Talking about another guy that can say.
I still keep in touch with Fantine too.
He's a good dude. Again, if somebody would have pulled me aside when we were in French class and said Fantine was going to be in the Coast Guard, I would have thought you're out of your mind.
Right.
Like, that guy's going to be military?
Right.
I said the same thing to Sumter. Like, that guy? You?
Right, I know.
You used to weigh 80 pounds with your clothes soaking wet.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
You're going to defend somebody? I didn't hear, let alone hear
Not
they did
look.
it. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the most infamous story of which we already talked about when you came in. The greatest story that I want to tell about my relationship with John and his brother, and Marty was there and a couple other people. Okay, John graduated a couple years ahead of me, and this is the greatest. I love this story. For anybody out there that's going to watch this and bitch about what it is you're making at your fast food gig or whatever, just sit back and relax.
Yeah.
Enjoy this. So, okay, it's summer of 1990. It's just after graduation.
Correct.
We were on Pequawsworth Road, just north of Wellington. Wellington, our small town that we went to, and John was there. Your brother was there, I think, and a couple other people were there.
Graduation party,
It was
right?
a graduation. I don't remember whose it was. But
Gots, I think.
maybe.
Gots.
That sounds right.
I think it was Gots.
Yeah, because it was right. Yeah, I remember it was before it even went down towards.
That was back when we were doing our underage drinking.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's actually the unwritten part of the curriculum to go to Wellington High School.
Right.
You got to learn how to shotgun beers and hide it in fields so you can
On
pick
Anderson
it up later.
Road.
Well, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway. So I remember we the Lorain County Joint Vocational School in Oberlin it's a massive center. It's huge, and there's in hindsight I actually may have had a little success going there, but it's dramatically different now. What they have there now, it was at the time when we were working there, it was kind of known as the if you're a punk kid, if you're not really going to go to school, if you're even though it should have been treated like a real you're going to learn a vocation here. It was more of a we can hang out and just kind of smoke dope and not really go to class.
We both went for 2 weeks. My brother and I did. I was like, pfft.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that. So the building itself is awesome, and now, from what I understand, it's much improved, and they have some great programs and things for the kids, which is great. But at the time, it was kind of almost like the butt of a joke,
right,
to a degree. When we
were
so we were there working over the summer, and again, I still had 2 more years of high school left, and John and Jason had just graduated, and Marty McClellan had just graduated as well, and you guys were all in the same class, and there were a couple other guys I think that were a little older than you that.
Dan Gossman.
Yep, we were going to work there in the summer, basically doing maintenance and repairs and things. They were kind of a makeshift crew.
Maintenance.
Yeah, right. We'll get into that. The greatest quote that I ever heard John say in my entire life was we were standing out there at this graduation party.
We'd been drinking.
May or may or not have had a pop or two. May or may or not. I don't know. None of us were over 20.
Don't matter.
It doesn't matter. But we're sitting there, and of course we're trying to hype ourselves up for this summer gig. On one hand, yeah, we worked with some cool people. You know what I mean?
Right.
We couldn't have handpicked a better crew of people to go and have some fun with, for
right.
sure. But we had to be there at 6, so it was even earlier than what we're used to for school.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of downside, but we were trying to hype ourselves up. And the thing was, the first month that we were there, we were making less money, but if we stuck around for the second half, we got a raise.
Right.
And I remember exactly what John said, which is, yeah, man, the month of June is going to kind of suck when we're making $290, but then July hits and we're making $305, and that'll be real money. And then we'll be making real money, he said. $305 an hour is real money, ladies and gentlemen.
Back then it was.
Well, you know what? When we think about it, an extra 15 cents an hour, that ended up equaling out probably an extra.
That was the cream of the crop job back then, because all them other slups are working at McDonald's.
That's true. We did have a great gig.
And we had straight, 8 hours? And McDonald's, you're only getting 4 or 5?
Good point.
So, hey.
And the guy that we worked for was 8,000 years old and can barely hear.
And had 10,000 keys on his side, that's what woke us up when we were napping.
Oh, we'd hear him where he'd be in that cart.
Yeah.
And he'd come whirling around.
Yeah.
And the thing was, this guy, he was an old man.
Right.
And he would give us a list of things to do that would take him all day to do.
Yeah.
We'd knock it out in an hour or two, and then we'd just go goof off.
Do whatever.
Yeah. We used to get into the small engine repair and play with the motorcycles, and
right.
play stickball down in the carpentry room.
Wrestle in a couple of rooms.
Oh, we'd wrestle. Oh, we'd straight up wrestle and fight.
Yeah, I
throwing
remember.
punches and everything.
I remember.
Yeah. But
I remember the drywall incident too.
Oh God.
Yikes.
Well, things just got out of control. When you got a bunch of teenage guys sitting there throwing punches at you, but more or less we get bored.
We're punks.
To be clear,
right?
We weren't drinking on the job.
No,
but we were just punk kids, and we're just going to sit here and decide we're just going to throw
we're
punches.
We're making big bucks.
It was Easy Street, man.
Right. Easy Street. I think I said that too.
Probably. Man.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, one thing I remember about that, speaking of, Fantine and the Noise Boys, the DJ group I was with, for some reason, back in those days, all the music we were playing was either a little bit of CD, but a lot of cassette tapes, because they were just durable. For some reason, after I worked at the JBS, we had a surplus of cassette tapes, for making mix. Not saying, just saying. Just had a surplus. Just showed up.
Your band was third base.
That was my shit, man. Working in the AM.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's interesting because, you talk about mirror image, you and your brother.
Yeah.
Because you were always the metal guy.
Yeah.
And I was being into the DJ stuff. I was into the hip hop and some of the dance and things. And Jason was more into that. He was more into the hip hop, at least at that time.
I was the one into hip hop back then. Jason was the metal guy because he's the one who got me into metal.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
My first show was Public Enemy when I was 15. So
I didn't know that.
Right on.
No shit, really?
Not many people know that about me. Shh.
Public Enemy?
Yes.
Get out of here, man. That's awesome.
Yes.
So you got to see them at the height of their powers.
Yeah, it was the Fear of the Black Planet tour. I remember.
Yeah,
yes.
Oh man, that's a great
them
and
EPMD.
See, okay, all right, kids.
Right.
You guys want to talk hip hop? EPMD. I mean, Public Enemy and EPMD.
My first show ever.
Hard to top that. You know what I mean? If you're going to get into like core of hip hop,
right?
That's right, because. Yes, sir. Jason was into the metal, and you were into because at the time, that's right, because we would do we'd be working, And a lot of times I ended up working with either both of you or one of you, or we'd split
Right.
up all the time. And I'd have to switch between a Noise Boys mixtape of dance stuff and a Noise
Yeah.
Boys mixtape
That was
of
me.
rock. That's
Right.
That's right. That was some good shit, man. That was fun.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Now that you mentioned it, I remember that he got you into the metal.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That's when we were working at McDonald's. Actually, it wasn't him. It was a manager that was working there. And she couldn't believe that the other one listened to metal. And I remember her distinctly giving me an Iron Maiden Live After Death VCR tape. She goes, take this home and watch it. I went home and I worshipped that damn thing. Hence, I got the whole front cover on my ribs over here, the whole tattoo. It's
man.
huge. It's my ode, so that's what got me into, metal.
So it wasn't even an album; it was a VHS tape.
It was a VHS tape.
Okay.
Live After Death, Iron Maiden. I'll never forget it. Probably one of the best live albums ever, in my opinion.
Well, that's actually a lot of people have shared that. People that aren't even really into metal,
Right.
say that. It was different. It was very that theatrical performance.
When I saw Eddie, I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
Right.
I didn't care for the vocals too much because back then I'm like, this is metal.
Yeah, well,
But I was just getting turned on to it. I didn't know.
Well, it's there's a lot of people that consider that just like an epic live album. Then again, they say the same thing about Frampton.
Mm-hmm.
The Frampton Comes Alive. Say what you want as an epic live album. Who the hell didn't have that? I mean, somebody even made fun of it in Wayne's World. You had it. Just everybody had it.
Exactly.
But yeah, the Iron Maiden with that theatrical stuff. I guess you can kind of go back to Alice Cooper as far as the pieneer of that. Look, that for lack of a better term, real goth, I guess.
Right.
He was the guy that really gave birth to that. But Iron Maiden took it to a different level.
They did.
They really did, for sure.
And going back to Cooper, I saw him a couple years ago. It was the farewell tour for Motley Crue, and he opened up. It's the first time I seen him.
No kidding.
And I saw the whole theatrical thing he did. And of course, I've seen Marilyn Manson countless times, and they call it shock rock. And Gwar, obviously.
We saw Gwar together.
Exactly, we did at the Agora.
No kidding.
And I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, this is cheesy as hell. This is shock. I mean, back then it was what was going on, but now, shit.
Well, this is okay. I'm glad you brought that up because we grew up. Look, what our parents had was they grew up with Elvis not being shown from the waist down.
Right.
Because that was too controversial.
Right.
They wouldn't show a man from the waist down because he was shaking his hips.
Right.
That was too much for TV.
What we saw at Gwar.
And then we see at Gwar spitting blood and cutting off limbs and spurting blood to the crowd and then Gwar woman doing her the twirl with the fire, which I love Gwar woman, so that was amazing. But that's what I'm saying. Now the thing I love about Gwar is they just go so completely absurd with it, which is amazing. It's awesome. It's brilliant the way that they do that because it's so brilliant, almost like South Park. Like if you're gonna come after Gwar, you're gonna look like an idiot,
right?
So it's so over the top.
Yes,
but to the point where the aforementioned Alice Cooper and some other bands, they get banned, or Marilyn Manson got banned right after the Columbine thing was when he was kind of at his peak of his popularity, and then he made some comments about maybe those kids shouldn't have been bullied or something. Then he was kicked out of Colorado, and it just because look, shock music. I mean, some of the bands that we've just been talking about. The reason why Alice Cooper and the reason why some of the shock bands have stuck around is because it's good music behind it. Gwar, you can make an argument for the music.
Yeah, I know.
But
you can't just pop them in your player and just say this jams.
No, I've made countless videos with different types of music. I haven't used one Gwar song.
Right.
Not yet. I just haven't.
No.
I don't think I ever will.
No.
But it's they definitely have their niche though, and that's what makes it work too. Plus, they could be 80 years old. You're not going to know. No. And they can switch their band members.
And they're going through. Hell, they got a new singer now. So because obviously Rocky passed away a while ago. Yeah. So
well, that's the greatest thing. You put them in that kind of costume and makeup.
Right.
They could have 20 singers over the next 20 years, and who's going to know? Really?
I actually saw them a couple of years ago. I went to a festival out in where was that? Louisville, Kentucky, and it was they was in the middle of a drought, and they played probably the hottest time of the day, and the sun was beating right down on them. I couldn't believe the shit they were doing.
But I don't know how they don't.
And they played for a good 45 minutes.
And for people that don't know, if you look up GWAR, GWAR, look up their costumes, look up the stuff that they wear. What John's saying, to be on stage wearing all that.
Right.
I mean, hell, you've been on stage wearing a T-shirt and probably feel like you're melting.
Yeah, exactly.
I
couldn't get past the whole raping the baby thing. That was a head turner, but it's just all theatrical. I get it. But.
Well, you can go another route, combining that theatrics with hip-hop, and I mean, look at the Juggalos.
Right.
I mean, so you talk about say what you want.
They're still going, too.
Say what you want. They are loyal.
And they're still going.
I know.
Good Lord.
Somehow.
Have you seen how fat the other one is, though?
Oh, dude, he's...
Every time I see pictures, I'm like, damn, dude, you got fat.
His face paint actually has layers to it now.
I don't know if it's Violent J. I can't remember.
I think that's Shaggy.
Is it?
Shaggy
I don't remember.
To be fair, I don't know them
personally. It's been years. I've never been a Juggalo, per se, but I've been to the handful of their shows.
I've never seen them.
Interesting.
But their fans, I've encountered their fans.
Yes.
I've been at many festivals that they've been around. I've never seen them perform, but I've been at festivals where you can spot a Juggalo from a mile away.
Yeah.
Which is good and bad.
Right.
I suppose. Then again, that's kind of their MO.
Yeah.
You know, there are animals in nature that will display their colors as a way of seeing them go away.
Right.
And I'd say the same would be the same for Juggalos.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
So then, so the summer of 1990, again, we can go off all day long. We were worked together and we had a lot of fun. We really did. The cool thing about working at 6 a.m. is we're teenagers. We're off at 2. We got all day.
Right.
Friday at 2 o'clock. We don't be back at Monday till 6.
Right.
Weekend part, like you said,
Ooh.
big money party time on the weekends. Yeah. It was it was a lot of fun.
Anderson Road time.
Yeah, exactly. For those that don't understand, there's Anderson Road in Wellington is Anderson Road is I think I was gonna say Cielo Drive is to LA, but that's a little too dark.
Yeah.
It's an infamous road, but not quite that infamous. Good times for teenagers. I don't even know teenagers. Then again, in this day and age, teenagers probably just sit at home and pop a pill and TikTok each other.
Right.
You know, I guess that's what. You know, when was the last time a teenager really got into a fist fight? You know, their idea is, you know, they get to flame somebody on a message board and block them. That's their idea of, you know, I'll show you what's up. We didn't grow up like that.
I actually drove down Anderson, I think it was last year. You should remember how desolate it was? There was nothing there. That's why we all went there. You can just park your car, lines of cars.
For hours.
All
night.
You won't see nobody.
Yep.
Well, houses all down through there now.
People you'd see were showing up or leaving the party.
You drive down there now, it's all full of houses. It's crazy.
Well, bye-bye Anderson Road.
Right.
You know, we'll miss you.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, no kidding. It was some good times, though.
Right.
And, I mean, again, to be completely clear, we're not condoning certain type of behavior. We're just telling stories about things that we did. Does not mean that we're proud of some of it. But, but some of it, you know what? I am.
It made us what we are today.
It's true.
I guess you could say that.
Absolutely. So, yeah, what shows we've seen GWAR together? We saw
Pantera and White Zombie. I remember.
That was amazing.
We went to the fair first and walked around for a minute. I remember.
We made fun of it.
For some reason, I was wearing cowboy boots that night. I don't remember why, but I remember that distinctly.
Well,
and it was on a Sunday night, too, I believe.
Right. It was a Sunday night because the running gag was we kept saying, you know, Lorain County, and to be fair, no pun intended, they actually have done a little bit better with their entertainment in the last 10, 15 years. They've got like Foreigner, they're not getting Metallica for the main stage, but you know, they'll get some bands, some legit bands, some rock rather, but it was all country. Everything was country then. It was all country at that time. And you and I, and the group of us, are walking around with the metal shirts on and stuff, and just like, you know, even at the time, even just not even necessarily country, but maybe a hip hop, maybe an R&B, maybe something like that, something different. And you know, we had Jenny Sheets and I came up with the Welly Stock Festival idea, and I stand by that. I stand by that fairgrounds
Yeah.
sits idle for 50 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
They'll have little events and things there that people rent out a hall or something, but I don't know, I've been to countless festivals and performed as a
Right.
DJ at festivals and produced some events and things. I look at that, all I think is festival. I think party.
Was that the Lenny Dean incident?
Yes, it was. The Pantera.
Funny, yes.
I was there with him.
Funny, because when we played at Red Iron, I think it was the last time we played there. They're not having bands in there anymore. But he happened to walk in. He was in town. I think it was in North Carolina now.
Yeah, I think so.
And
I've seen him.
we busted out fucking Hostile for him.
No kidding.
Yeah, we had to. It was on a whim. I
That-
remember.
Okay. The song "Fucking Hostile" by Pantera was the first song on their display. Vulgar. It was the
It's on Vulgar.
Vulgar album, which, in my opinion, is the best album.
Right.
It's an easy one to pick,
Yeah.
but every song on it is great.
Right.
Every song on it is great.
Right.
And the show starts, and I was there with Lenny. I was right next to him. He was about a foot or so ahead of me. The show starts out, pit's going crazy. We're at the Agora, great time. And again, a good group of people there, real legit fans
Right.
watching this band. And they start out with "Fucking Hostile." And Lenny and I start climbing the speakers. And Lenny was ahead of me. The speakers, the stack on the side. And Lenny, again, he was probably a couple feet ahead of me. And the damn thing fell over.
Yeah.
And it fell over, and he dropped down. And I don't know, it was maybe a foot or so. And I had to drop down. And he and I and a couple of the people were holding these things until stagehands came and pulled the damn thing back. And then I remember vividly at the end of the song, Phil, lead singer, points right at Lenny.
Right.
I was next to him, but points right at Lenny and says, "That's how you start a fucking show."
Yeah.
And
It's on the Vulgar video.
so he said it's on the video, but I've looked for it and I haven't seen it.
Really?
I've never seen it.
It's on the first one, I want to say.
I got to see that.
Dude, it's easy to find.
I'll look for it.
It's easy to find. You can YouTube it probably. The entire thing.
I think I may have seen that it was on there, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, you gotta see
looked
it.
for it. I got to check it out. But yeah, you can see Lenny on there.
Oh, yeah. It was funny. When he walked into Red Iron, I'm like, oh my God, dude. I cannot believe you're here. I haven't seen him probably since then.
Wow.
And this was, I think, 2 years ago when he walked in there.
I do have another Lenny concert story, though. This is from '97. We went to the End Fest.
I remember the End Fest.
And we were out.
107.9.
Yeah, we were out at Blossom.
End.
And it was me and Lenny.
That was a Blossom?
I believe so.
Or Lorraine? Was it Blossom?
No, it was Blossom.
Blossom,
It was a big
okay.
one. It was a big one. And we had, it was Lenny and me and I think Sumter. I know Scott Sedlick was there. I think Marcus was there. He was the youngest one out of all of us. And we went to the show. Yeah, I think that's right, because we were all over age, barely.
Right.
But Marcus was 16. And we were there, and we didn't know that they had cut out the rule that you can't tailgate in the parking lot anymore. So we were there at that time. We were there, and they may have changed it since then.
Things you can't now.
We were there, and we were drinking, and Lenny got caught, and they threw him out.
Really?
Yep. And we all rode in one car. We were all out there, and they threw Lenny out. And I remember Marcus was freaking out. Well, not really freaking out, but he was concerned because, wait, we all came here. It's, we just got here. It's noon. We're not going to be leaving until 8, 9, 10 o'clock. What the hell?
Right.
And Lenny, I remember him saying, "Don't worry." And I turned to Marcus like, "Don't worry, don't worry." It must have been an hour or so later. Who do we see? There's Lenny.
Yeah, back in.
Covered in dirt, covered in mud. The dude went cross country, and at one point in time said that he actually went on his belly to go underneath the fence to get back in there. But you know what? Son of a bitch showed up, and we ran it. Oh yeah,
man.
That's what I'm saying. So two stories that precedes him.
Damn, Lenny.
The Pantera show, and then
Right.
at the end. I mean, those are
That dude's a legend.
right. And the greatest thing about it was I remember Marcus, of course, was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
And we were all just kind of matter of fact, like, yeah, we knew Lenny would be.
Right.
Like, just a 22, 23-year-old Lenny Dean.
Yeah.
What do you expect? He's
Yeah.
going to do whatever he wants to do.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to stop him.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Right, and I knew that going in. Again, this is the guy that I saw and helped rip speakers down at a Pantera show.
Right.
And a guy who at the time was an ex-Marine. You think that's going to stop him from getting into a show?
So yeah, if anybody has ever seen the Vulgar video, this guy here's a legend. I was just there to watch.
That was a hell of a show.
And not many people know that.
Well, yeah, man, that's right. That was, I'll never forget that.
That was great.
It was an amazing night. And to be completely clear, what made it an amazing night was Pantera kicked ass.
Mm-hmm.
They really did. That was before Phil had his back problems.
Yeah.
It was before the band had their first big breakup.
And that's the beginning when they were touring with White Zombie for like 5 years straight. Every time I went to a Pantera show.
Trouble was with them,
and
too.
Trouble. I was
Yeah.
just going to say that Trouble was there, I remember.
Yeah, that was a hell of a time.
Right.
For sure. So,
Damn.
Yeah, so then, let's, we'll jump right into, and again, we could sit here and talk metal shows all day long. Speaking of metal, almost 100 shows now.
Yes.
And the lead singer of the band Dirt.
Yes.
Now again, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I want to give a little bit of a history with this. Dirt, named after Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
And you guys were going to be more or less a tribute band. That was the plan at first.
The story is, I remember sitting up at B-Dubs in Elyria, and I'm going through Facebook, I'm hammered, and I see this dude.
You? No.
Yeah, I know. And this guy puts a post on there on one of the musician pages and wanted to start a Alice in Chains tribute band. And Dan, who's my current drummer, we had just gotten out of Sleep Lord. We just quit. That's another story. That was a original band that's still going today. They rock.
Cool.
Anyways, I seen it and I texted Dan. He's like, "Fuck yeah, I'll do it." And we were kind of stupid going into this. I'm gonna admit it, because as I've been doing the cover band thing for a while, and I've seen a lot of tribute bands. To be a tribute band, first and foremost, you should probably look like them.
Right.
You should.
I agree.
At least your singer. Now, let's be honest. I look nothing like Lane Staley.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
If you don't look like him, you better goddamn sound like him.
That's a good point.
And that was a bitch for me. And I was new to the game. I hadn't been singing very long. We didn't care. We just wanted to be in a band. And I think it lasted maybe 2 shows, maybe 3.
Of just the Alice.
Of just, yeah. And it got to
Next, when I saw you guys played everything.
Yes.
And when I first saw you guys were only a few shows in.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was at 4280.
Mm-hmm.
I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the point where you're doing a show and you look down at the set list and you're rolling your eyes like, shh, I want to play this.
Yeah.
And it's not a knock on Alice in Chains. I love them. They're one of my favorite bands.
Sure.
I actually have a tribute tattoo here for Lane. But if you can't pull them off, don't do it.
Agreed.
We were blind going into that, I guess. We just didn't care. And I remember we had a practice one day. It was on a Sunday, I think it was. And I told them guys, I'm like, you know what? Let's scrap this. This isn't working. It's not going to work. Let's play what we want to hear when we go to watch a band. So then it came out, and you got your, of course you got your Rage Against the Machine.
Quite frankly, I think that's what a band should do.
Right.
Play what you want to hear.
Well, that's exactly what me and Dan do. I mean, that's when we started it. We're like, then we started putting, a list together. Well, actually, it was all 4 of us at the time. We've gone through so many members, but at the time, we put a list together. It's changed a lot since then.
Oh, sure, it progresses.
Right.
Well, I find the same thing with DJs on a little bit of a lesser. I'll find DJs that,
yes.
Man, I spin breaks, but I want to play trance. Well, why don't you play trance?
Yeah.
Because I'm known for that. It's like, it's a lesser degree, but
yes.
For big DJs, for big electronic artists, it'd be very similar. So
you probably don't know this story either. We were just a band for, we might have had a couple shows under our belts, just doing not the Alice in Chains stuff, the other stuff. And we played at the Odeon.
I think
I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember you doing it, but I remember maybe reading about it or seeing.
That was weird. There was some kind of music festival going on, and I saw it on Facebook, so I figured, I'll throw it out there. And the guy sent me a message back. He's like, I don't know about cover bands. What do you guys play? And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And as soon as I said Slayer, he goes, you guys play Slayer? Yep. So we got in there, and I think we co-headlined that show. We might have only played like 8 songs. I don't give a shit. Just being on that stage was great. It was a great crowd.
That's awesome.
Great crowd.
It's a feeling.
Yeah. I think Metal Mafia, I think they're still going today. I don't know. It's horrible rap, metal, whatever. But
that's a hit or miss with me.
Yeah, me too.
The bands that hit it right.
As I'm getting older, I'm getting out of that. I can't listen to it.
I get it. I get it.
My music changes. It's changed a lot since I've gotten older.
You know what? I've turned into the guy that listens to more often than not. I just listen to classic rock.
Classic rock. I'm actually into a lot of country now too. I'm a country guy now.
I
don't advertise it, but I am.
I want to be clear on country music. Okay, I want to be clear because I have, case in point, a lot of people that I care about, whose opinions I care about, that are fans of country music, and I'll say the same thing I've said to everybody. I've really tried.
Yeah.
I've tried. I really have.
Can't do it, huh?
There are a handful of country artists that I enjoy. Probably, I mean, some of the ones that I could say, like The Devil Went to Georgia.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or The Gambler. Or my personal favorite.
Kenny Rogers, rest in peace. Damn.
My personal favorite country song of all time is by Kenny Rogers, and the song is called Coward of the County.
I love Kenny Rogers. I grew up on Kenny Rogers.
There's a part in that song when he says, and you could have heard a pin drop the time he stopped and locked the door. It gave me goosebumps at the time hearing it. That was back, that was a 70s song, I believe.
Yeah.
You talk about when music was telling stories.
Right.
Alabama, Roll On.
Yeah.
I mean, you go on and just so on. All of these where they're telling stories.
The new stuff's not really like that now.
No, it's.
I don't like the new stuff.
When I hear a hip hop beat with a violin and somebody singing, that's not country music to me.
No.
I can't buy into that.
No.
I can buy a hybrid because maybe it's cool.
Right.
It's different. That's not country music.
No.
So, I don't know. Like a lot of the modern country artists, I've tried.
There's only 2 right now that pop in my head that I listen to religiously of the, if you want to call them newer stuff. One is Aaron Lewis, obviously. My love for him. Love that guy. It's my ode to him. Chris Stapleton's the other one.
I remember drawing a picture of that guy for you.
Yeah, I still have it. It's framed. Chris Stapleton's the other one. So I'm into that. I like the older stuff. There's actually some friends of mine, Hard Drive. And if you're on Facebook, you're not on Facebook, but I go to their shows pretty much every weekend.
I've been fighting, kicking, and screaming to go back to Facebook, but I'm going to have to.
That'll be inevitable. Right on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I told Dan, especially with a recent pandemic and an election.
Yeah.
I'd had an impacted ass full of people's opinions and unfortunately, people that I respect.
That's nauseating.
Would write or say or share or
it's
post
very
things.
Nauseating.
And again, I don't give a damn what side of the political fence you sit on.
Right.
You can be a shithead.
Right.
I don't care. Whatever,
right.
You know what I mean?
Agree.
And I would see it as I don't want to lose respect for these
this
people.
This has definitely brought the asshole in a lot of people.
Too many.
Right.
Right. And
now it's the shots. If you got the shot, you're a sheep.
Right.
Which is bullshit, And I'm not going to judge anybody who gets it or who don't. I got the first one. Yeah, it laid me on my ass. I got it a couple weeks ago. And we actually had to cancel a show out in Mansfield.
Not kidding.
My bass player, he had a fever from his second Pfizer. And he had 105 fever, which is very high. And we're telling this dude, we're like, dude, you got to go to the ER.
105. Yeah, you should go straight.
But as I woke up and I'm reading that message, I felt like shit. And so I was laid out. So we ended up canceling the show. Now, my second one is coming a week from Friday. And we have a show at Wits End on the east side of Cleveland. I'm praying to God that nothing happens at this one. The reason I got it is because I had COVID. I was in the hospital for 6 days. I don't know if you knew that.
No,
I was on oxygen and all that shit, dude. I was
bugged. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that.
Dude, it's easily. People can say what they want about COVID. That's probably the hardest thing I've ever been through. It was terrifying.
And what I hear is it's either nothing, or next to nothing,
or there's like no in between kind of.
Yeah, well,
really.
There's a guy that I trained that played in the NFL, still a relatively young guy, that he was laid up for over, I think, 10 days in the hospital.
It's different. Everybody's different. When I had it, it was very terrifying. The not being able to breathe was the hardest thing. Yeah, felt like somebody was giving you a constant bear hug, and then somebody else was stepping on your chest. I'm not gonna lie. The first night they put me into Lorraine, I thought that was it for me. It took all of me to catch my breath, and for me to walk like 10 feet to go to the bathroom, I felt like I ran the reservoir. Wow. It was awful. And they wheeled me out. I was there for 6 days. They wheeled me out like an 80-year-old man on a wheelchair, and I had the oxygen. I went home with the oxygen. Didn't want to become reliant on it because I know how easy that could be, because it feels good with that stuff going up your nose. I don't know if you've ever had that, but it feels really good.
I've actually been to those oxygen bars.
Right on.
Where you pay a thing and you can get like a flavor up your nose.
Yeah.
First time I saw that was in, of course, Florida. It was the first place I saw it. So
right on.
That. So yeah, I get you. It can be a euphoric feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I did, I remember going home on a Friday, and I couldn't breathe for shit still. And I'm thinking to myself, I gotta get back to work on January 4th. That was because this was during the Christmas season. Remember the ab lounge? You ever see, what an ab lounge is? I got one of those down in the basement, and I started going down there, and I was doing reps on it. I started out with 80, and then I would do like 100, and it was all said and done. I could do like 300 or 400 to get my breathing up.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, I'm not relying on this shit. I gotta be done with it. And I was weaned off by that following Monday because of that. I'll tell you what, people are going to say what they want about COVID and make jokes about it. It's no joke, man.
Well,
my whole family went through it.
Here's the bottom line. People are dying.
Right. Yeah.
Joke about it all you want.
I know.
People are dying.
I know.
And look, people die every day. I understand that. People are dying differently.
Right.
And whether we caused it or nature caused it or a combination of, this is what we do as a species.
Right.
We overcome.
Now they're saying too that people are dying from the shots, and I don't know what to believe about that. I mean, everybody's got underlying conditions that you don't know about.
Well, right. And the biggest thing, in my opinion, that our country has missed the boat on the COVID thing is the number one pre-existing condition, obesity.
Yeah.
And it's not a secret. Look, when I lived out of the country, when I was in the islands, and those cruise ships would come in.
I remember that too.
Yeah, I loved it down there. When the cruise ships would come in, I remember one day vividly, there was an American cruise ship and a German cruise ship that came in on the same day, the only two. And I kid you not, you could stand on the street and look and be able to tell exactly who was where.
Right.
The German people were all thin. The American people were all heavy.
Yeah.
We have an amazing society, because even from where we are right now,
right,
you can hop in the car and drive through, get any kind of food you want.
Yeah, I know.
Any kind. Within 5 minutes. And this is not anywhere near a huge bustling metropolis city that we're in. This is a small little town that we're in, and you can get any kind of food you want.
Yeah.
So we have an incredible country of convenience, which can work for us and can work against us. So that's the one thing that I will focus on when COVID comes up is, you know what? We've missed the boat on the discussion on being healthy before you get sick.
Right.
Because if you're not healthy, and everybody's different degrees of health. I'm not saying everybody needs to be to the point where they're ready to walk into a cage. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Right.
If you take care of yourself, it's a lesson that we all say. Even if you're a professional fighter, I know a lot of professional fighters that should take better care of themselves. So if you're going to be just just a regular going about your way person, citizen, take care of your body. When you get dealt something like that, it's going to be, I mean, if you were in worse shape than you were before you got sick, who knows?
Wow.
So that's my point. So to the idea that you had to endure something like that.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah. Well,
I've been through a lot of shit, but man, I'll tell you what, that right there was terrifying. It really was.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
made it out, man.
Yeah, thank you. It was bad. It took 3 nurses to hold me down because I was free. I was having anxiety attacks and all kinds of shit going on. It was bad, and I had to get they call it the Trump treatment, whatever he got when Trump got it. I don't know if you remember that. He got some kind of, and then he was done like in a couple of days. I had to get that for I think 3 or 4 days.
And again, this is not a political thing. I'm not care pro or
No,
anti-Trump,
I'm not either.
But that guy, according to what the sources were, he kicked it in a couple of days, relatively quick.
The nurses actually called it the Trump treatment.
No kidding.
Yeah,
right.
And it was weird because when they put it in my hand here, I had an IV. You can actually, like, your whole body felt cold. It was weird, very weird.
Huh.
That and a steroid is the game changer, and it did well for me.
Was that?
But
the biggest thing was the release or the relief to be able to breathe. Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
Well, yeah. It's again. I've had people say I was sick and didn't even know it. And
Right.
I've had people say they've had.
We canceled shows. I remember my band they were going to be on a podcast on a Friday evening. I missed that. I remember we had a show at Sly Fox, and I had countless people that go to our shows and other bands, and they were willing to be guest vocalists that night. And I got out that morning, and it was still, my drummer Dan went ahead and canceled it. It's probably a good thing because I didn't care, because I hate canceling shows. I didn't care if I had to take oxygen on that goddamn stage. If I had to do 2 songs or 3 songs and I had these other guys with me, I was going to do it. That's how much I like playing. But obviously, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think you made the right choice.
Yeah, that probably been bad.
Yeah.
But
we credit you for wanting.
Yeah.
Again, I'll say it all the time. Just because I'll applaud the guts, that doesn't necessarily mean that's smart.
Well, a lot of people call me, dude, don't do that. You're stupid. I didn't. It was,
I would back them up on that. I'm glad you didn't.
Laying in a hospital, a lot of shit goes through your head. Yeah, I got to get out of here.
Sure.
I think it was 3 weeks after I got out. Our first show was in Medina. And that was very emotional for me. I actually had a hard time in a couple songs, catching my breath. But I also had a hard time holding back tears.
Sure.
Because I didn't think I'd ever do this again. A lot of people have lasting effects with their lungs, and you're screwed. And luckily, it didn't happen to me. Maybe it was because I did my exercise. I don't know. Maybe somebody was looking. I have no idea. But it was a very emotional show for me. We did 3 sets, and it was hard to hold back the tears because I didn't think I'd be doing it again. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I still do. Ever since then, we played, I don't know, a handful of shows, and I think about it. Goes through my head.
It's inevitable.
Like, shit, man, I should be doing this. There's other people that didn't get out of that.
Yeah.
And here I am, being able to still do what I want to do. You know what I mean? So.
Well, then my advice would be focus on that and make the most of it.
Yeah.
It's age-old advice.
Right.
That's and again, without going down the, who look out or who what, either a spiritual or religious.
Yeah.
Everybody can have whatever brings somebody peace with that. Hey, however I got here, that's fine. My feeling is, I'm here.
Right.
So let's do something.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie, man. And you luckily didn't get it. I take it.
No.
Good for you.
Yeah,
have you gotten the shots?
Yeah, we're good. Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
Which ones you get?
Both.
Did you get the Pfizer?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right
Well,
on. No side effects. Good for you, man.
Been fine. And look, I look at it this way. It's not about me.
Right.
I am fine, and I'm not, pun intended, I'm not in fighting shape, but I take care of my body way better than I did for a long time.
Yeah.
There was, I think, last year, February 2020, when I did the when we did the Ohio Wrestling Insider, we did the Wellington Wrestling Tournament there.
That was right before everything.
I did get sick during that time.
Did you really? Okay.
Yes, I did get sick.
Nobody knew what it was.
Well, I wasn't very, very sick. My girlfriend got very sick, really sick during that time.
Okay.
I mean, the sickest she's ever been.
Yeah.
So I don't, and again, for a guy that I
Y'all
spend my time rolling around on mats with people. I don't know how I didn't contract it at some point, but if whether I did or I didn't have any issue, any effects. I was sick, but it felt nothing worse than just a regular cold or just a 24-hour thing or something.
Yeah.
She had it really bad, but I'm fortunate because, especially after hearing your story, that I didn't have a real bad experience with it. But I know some people, case in point, that have. And again, it's and not to get into a political thing, whether people should or they shouldn't. You know what?
Yeah.
It's not about me. It's about making sure other people don't get sick.
I know.
That's the most important thing, because there are people out there that...
I worry about my parents. That's what I worry about. They both had it. My dad was in the hospital for a month. That was rough. It was... Well, again... And they got it from me. Yeah. So... And I had kind of a guilt trip thing going on.
Sure. Well, I understand why you would. Yeah. But you can't beat yourself up over that.
God damn, is that stuff... It's weird how fast that virus attaches yourself, that's like infects other people. It's fast.
Yeah, real
like you're talking a day, within a day.
That has been one of the biggest issues with the whole virus.
Yeah,
is now we've learned a lot from day one. From the surface transfer is next to none, from what I understand. But you're right. Human to human, face to face is very quick, from what I understand. And again, I'm not an expert on this by any means, but this is just some things that you obviously going through it with no.
I hated it last year. Because we had so many shows booked, and we get a text message from my drummer Dan, who books our shows. It's canceled. I'm like, damn it! Even our favorite venues, they still haven't. Even though a lot of other places have opened up, they still haven't pulled the trigger. They're scared. I get it. Sucks. But
well, hopefully we're coming out the other end of this thing.
Yeah, I think I'm hoping. A lot of places I go to, they're not even give a shit if you wear a mask or not. But I know.
Let's go to Florida.
Right, I know. Texas. Right, they don't give a shit.
No. Well, and here's again. People will say it's bullshit. They'll say conspiracy, whatever. Look, obviously, clearly, you suffered.
Right.
But, and I said it during the show where we did the Fight Companion, 15,000 people in an arena for a fight in Florida a couple weeks ago. Well, we should be hearing about a massive spike right now.
Right.
I'm not hearing about that. Are you?
No.
So, does that mean it's bullshit? No. Does that mean maybe things are leveling off, calming down, people are getting vaccinated and or herd immunity? Maybe. I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert in this, but what I can look at is I have people that were at that fight.
Yeah.
And they're fine.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's, I feel it was a combination of, I don't know. It'd be hard to not feel like that we were just kind of caught off guard.
Right.
We were not prepared globally. I don't think we were prepared for something like this. And from what I understand, and again, I'm not an expert in this, but things that I've seen and heard, it could have been much worse. And if there is a variation of this or something that could be worse, then God forbid, but there's always a possibility.
It's actually made Dirt shows kind of cool because we have a new intro. Do you remember the Ice-T Iceberg album? Remember the intro?
Yeah.
With the Black Sabbath playing in the background? We played that, I'm sure you know it.
I know it. Yeah, I do. Okay.
That's our intro. We've been running with it ever since we started playing out again, and it just works.
That's awesome.
And then we go right into Killing in the Name of it.
Which is
perfect.
It's my favorite Dirt song.
It's awesome.
It's my favorite Rage / Dirt song, of course.
Right.
That's got to be.
It works.
The few times that I've seen you, when you guys sing that song, when you do that song, that's my favorite.
It's changed though since you saw us last.
It's been a couple years.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Everything's changed. I actually took vocal lessons a couple years ago from George Hartwig. He's the lead singer of Battery, who is the #1 Metallica tribute band in the United States. He lives out in Parma. I did a crash course with him a couple years ago when I was off on Christmas vacation at work, and it was worth the drive. He worked my ass off, and everything's changed with me. And because I wanted to do an acoustic thing on the side. I tried.
Cool.
I'm still working on it.
That's awesome.
I got with a guy, didn't really work out. You want to do more classic rock, and I kind of want to do everything. I want to do country and classic. I want to mix it up.
Well, why limit yourself?
90,
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
I think I have a guy right now, though. But anyways,
nice.
we've changed a lot. We've gone through a lot of band members. I think the lineup we have now, I'd have to venture to say, man, it might be the best.
That's awesome.
And we had a good lineup probably when you saw us. It was great. But the reason it works now is our guitar player and our bass player were in a band together. They were in a Metallica tribute band back in the day, so they already knew each other.
Nice.
And of course, me and Dan have already been jamming since 2015. It just works. Our newest guy, the bass player, Alex Pulaski, he rocks. I'm old enough to be his dad.
Sobering feeling, isn't it, though?
Yeah. Well, here's a funnier story. My drummer, Dan, he went to school with his dad. So, but Jesus Christ, this lineup works.
Well,
it's working.
That's awesome.
And we're all getting along. And
Well,
it's refreshing because I hate it when we book a show. You got to send that text message out to the other three guys.
yeah.
You got to get answers. And everybody's like, bam, 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 bam. They're all over it. Either yes or no. Usually it's a yes, unless you got something going on.
Yeah.
But this lineup is very refreshing.
Well, what's next for you guys?
We're playing actually this Saturday at my favorite, the Sly Fox in North Olmsted.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw you guys there.
Love
Yeah,
that.
that's a
You
good
did
spot.
show up. I
was
remember.
there. And I was working down the street from there.
And I was there a couple weeks ago, and I
That's
booked
right.
us 3 more shows for the rest of the year.
That's a
On
good
top
spot.
of
It's a cool
it
venue.
is, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't care if they don't serve food. And right now, I'm still about helping the bars out because before we used to get a flat fee. We're just getting what's at the door. I don't give a shit. We're not in this for the money.
Sure.
Obviously, we all have real jobs.
Sure.
You know, when I booked those shows a couple weeks ago, you know, the owner's like,
Now, that being said, if there's any major record executives out there that are interested, feel free.
right.
Something tells me that if the right check was there, that you guys would quit those day jobs.
Probably.
Yeah. Well.
That probably won't happen, though.
Well, never say never. Hey man,
But no.
we have the power of the show to reach. We can reach everybody on the planet.
Right.
So if you check out Dirt. If you like them, make no mistake, they have day jobs, but they are.
We play the entire Big Four. If you like Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and mix it in with some Rage Against the Machine, some Drowning Pool, some Black Sabbath, some Green Jelly.
Oh,
Remember that? The Three Little Pigs?
Oh,
Dude, we've been playing
doing
it.
that.
We're doing it now. We've been playing it for a couple years now, and it's never left our
That
set
song,
list.
man,
We're doing it all, dude.
That's a great one for you guys because that's one that I'm sure when you started, everybody has that whole shit because everybody remembers that song.
Shaker's Tavern is where it started in Parma.
That's awesome.
We played there quite a bit every couple months, and the barmaid asked us, she goes, "Do you guys know Three Little Pigs?" No, we don't know it, but we'll learn it next time we're here, and we fucking did.
That's awesome.
And it's never left. Every time, it's always like the 3rd or 4th song in our set list, and it gets people going. I just love the little pig, little pig, little pig.
Yeah,
Oh, man. It works. It goes over.
That was the mid-90s, I think, when that
Yeah.
came out. I remember watching the video of that because it was an animated video, if I remember.
Yeah,
right.
it was animated.
Yeah. that's a great song for you guys.
We're doing that song.
That's badass.
And everything, like I said, everything's changed, man. Like my vocal, everything's changed with my vocals. Some of the song, we're even doing Limp Bizkit now. That was my idea. Break stuff.
Well, you know what? Say what you want about Limp Bizkit. I like some of their songs.
So do I.
I do.
They're catchy.
I, as a guy who lived in Hollywood, I did hear some things about Fred.
I'm sure you did.
Not nice things.
I'm sure.
I never met the man. I never talked to the man. But I know people who did on a regular basis. And look, if you end up becoming a punchline,
I know.
there's something behind that.
Right.
You know, but made some.
Did you ever see the footage? I think it was a couple of years ago when Limp Bizkit was playing somewhere. I think it was in 2019 or 2018. And one of the guys from ICP come up behind him and went to drop kick him, and he totally missed him.
I did see that.
What an idiot.
Look, There's a reason why when you hear about I believe wasn't it Guns N' Roses that got into a fight? Axl got into a fight at the MTV Awards with somebody.
Right.
Look, that's a legit thing. If you're going to do that, and once again, if you're going to paint your face like a clown and you're going to go after somebody,
down with the clown.
You got to land that drop kick.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're going to do that, land that, you're a hero.
And they attempted to be professional wrestlers.
They did. They in both WCW and WWE.
Correct. I was just going to say that. They were
part of the Oddities group. I remember that.
Good call, dude.
Hey,
the Oddities. Oh, yeah.
Hey, man. I know my pro wrestling. I've fallen off in the last 10 years, to be fair.
I'm still watching it. I'm still watching it.
Tried.
I have not stopped.
I can't.
Granted, I hit the fast forward button a lot because I DVR it because it sucks so bad, but I still watch it.
Credit you for sticking to it. Just like with the country music, I've tried. But then again, you know what I do? I'll tell you exactly what I do. When I need my pro wrestling fix, I turn on my 10-foot screen here, and I sit back and I decide I'm going to watch wrestling from the 80s. That's what I do.
Or ECW.
I'll watch that too. I'll watch anything pre-2000, pre-2001. Anything from like 83 to 2000.
Do you know about the new promotion that's been out for the last year? Yes, I totally love it.
I like. Look, the thing that I loved about pro wrestling growing up was, I think that we all knew it wasn't a real legit fight.
Yeah.
But we bought into the illusion.
And we knew who was going to win,
right.
too.
We bought into that. And
especially on Sunday mornings.
Yeah. We enjoyed the storylines, enjoyed the characters, but there was a veil of believability.
Right.
Kind of like when you watch David Copperfield.
Yeah.
He's not really going to make the Statue of Liberty disappear, but I'll buy into it.
Right.
Okay, I'm there. But the problem, in my opinion, was if Copperfield came right out and said, "Hey, this is how I did it," it's hard to get the toothpaste back in the tube. You know what I mean? So
right.
I have when you expose the business and you get rid of kayfabe and you've got say, "Hey, this is what we do," even though we all kind of knew it, it killed it a lot for me. And now it's so exposed. It's hard for me. And the biggest issue that I have watching it, I want to see the action in the ring. I don't need your camera zooming in and out and moving.
It's too many.
Again, you watch the wrestling from the 80s, it's a camera sitting there and two guys or two women or whoever is in the ring doing their thing.
Right.
You don't need the camera to move. Let the movement in the ring sell for me.
You should have seen it last year when the pandemic first started, when there was no fans. You want to talk about awful promos? That brought out the worst.
Well, everything's completely supervised and scripted now.
Yeah, because you got Vince McMahon, yelling in your ear.
Back in the
AEW
day,
doesn't do that.
That's like
all.
That.
That's why I like them, because everything is what it's from them. It's not scripted with the promos and shit.
Well, when you look at the best pro wrestling personalities of all time, although they may have had some direction. Hey, okay, John, you're fighting Scott at the pay-per-view this weekend, so go out and hype up whatever. Just mention this.
Right.
But that would be it.
Yeah.
Make sure they just say something like, make sure you mention the date, time, location, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you do your shtick, you do your character.
Right.
I listen to Jim Cornette all the time. I love him.
I
still listen.
I wish he was still in the business.
Me too. If anybody out there can get in touch with Jim Cornette, if there's somebody I want to have on my show, I could talk to that guy all day. I listen to his podcast too, and he's got a really amazing voice too, the way he tells stories. He
great manager back in the 80s.
Oh, he put it.
He had that tennis racket.
Oh yeah, the Midnight Express.
Yes.
Man. My favorite tag team matches of all time were the Midnight Express. A lot of people say Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
I like the Midnight Express.
I did too.
Versus the Fantastics.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Fantastic.
Those guys were amazing. But Jim Cornette put it best when he said there was a time when the line was blurred between an entertaining sport and sports entertainment.
Yeah.
When you look at, it sounds like the old grumpy old man, but if you look at Steamboat and Flair from 1989,
I remember it was yesterday.
Watch those. You
Right.
guys want a pro wrestling lesson? You watch Ricky Steamboat versus Ric Flair. They wrestled 3 pay-per-view matches in 1989. Here's the thing you remember about that. They knew who was going to win going into those matches, of course.
Right.
But before they went out and wrestled, they never talked about anything that they were going to do in the match.
Right.
They knew what the finish was going to be.
Yeah.
And if you listen to those guys in their interviews, it was just, I mean, you talk about when you have a bandmate that comes in, you just know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It just, like, use your words, it just works.
Right.
And part of being a legit pro wrestler is being a great dance partner.
Right.
And Flair and Steamboat have both said in interviews that they would just grab a headlock and they knew exactly where they were going.
Yeah.
And they'd go 30, 45, 60, 90 minutes sometimes. And it's to me, it's the combination of ballet and violence.
Yeah.
And those guys, whenever I get, and especially when I get around people that are a little bit younger and they want to shit on pro wrestling, I'll show them one of those and they'll be like, okay.
I hate the fact that it's fake. When I remember first hearing that it was fake, I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, broke my heart.
But, I mean, what they're doing, taking the chair shots and stuff. I mean, come on. I mean,
it's absurd.
That's still, I know they blade themselves, and I've seen shows, but whatever.
Well, it's what I love about. I think I had it described to me when I was in college and I was watching it, and a buddy of mine, he summed it up best when he said, and this fits for me, when he's like, it's a live action comic book.
Yeah.
You've got these larger than life, literally larger than life characters.
Yeah.
You have heroes, you have villains, you have factions, you have loners, you have the vixens, you have the sabotage, you have the love relationships, everything, like you said, anything they can mix into that with these crazy costumes,
right?
And music, and it's a live action comic book.
Yeah.
It's not real.
Yeah.
But you want to suspend disbelief. You want to enjoy yourself.
And I'm 49 and I still watch it.
Well, you know what, dude?
Damn me.
I'll sit, and not only will I watch pro wrestling and fights on a 10-foot screen, I'll sit and I'll watch Rick and Morty. You know what I mean? So I'm an adult and I watch cartoons and I write and draw cartoons.
Family Guy.
Of course.
South
I love
Park.
it all. Well, if you think about it, and of course this is going to be old man Scott right here, but we had, 5 channels growing up?
Yeah.
And before we even had VCRs, if you wanted to see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you had to be home Friday night at 8 o'clock.
I remember. Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
Now, I have a phone right now that if I want to, I could watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer
anytime you want
in Spanish.
Right.
Just because I want to learn it.
Right.
Right. So it's something that it's difficult to instill that.
Right.
Especially when I'm around young kids and I'm coaching teenagers. It's like, how do you explain that? Well, having a little bit of a delayed gratification.
Right.
It's hard to.
Right.
But case in point, like with your band, from day one till now, it's dramatically different. It's a progress, and
that's a lot different,
and it never stops.
No,
but you pull Lars in here and ask him, "Hey, you guys are the same band as you were in 1980?" He's gonna laugh at you.
Right.
I mean, how can you be?
I decided when I wanted to do the vocal lessons, it was more of a longevity type thing, because I want to keep doing it as long as I can till I can't do it.
Sure.
I'm 49, but I'm not old. You know what I mean? So.
Well, you also don't hit those Whitney Houston high crazy notes.
I don't want to either.
But traditionally, singers that do, their vocals will fall off quickly.
Right.
Now, Whitney abused her body pretty bad too.
Yeah.
But that's you hit some high notes, but not like that.
That was more of a longevity thing when I decided to do that, because we'd have a show on a Saturday and I wouldn't get my voice back till Wednesday. I got sick of it.
Yeah.
Probably because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just in the moment and blah, blah, blah. But it's done nothing but help me for the last year and a half.
Good.
Since I've done it.
Noticed a difference in recovery?
Huge. People have come up to me and said, "Holy shit, what the hell happened to you?" I'm
That's
like,
awesome, man.
Ah. Plus, here's the other thing. playing metal songs, people think automatically, holy shit, all they do is growl.
Scream and growl.
I want to make us more marketable. That was my other thing. I want to make our band more marketable and say, no, I sing.
Right.
And it's helped.
Well, when you look at some of the...
We've had naysayers, Red Iron, Wellington, my hometown.
Man.
I mean, dude, I played hell getting in there.
I saw you there once. Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yeah. I played hell getting in there. Always, I don't know. They were used to having, I don't know, country bands or whatever.
Or a DJ, basically like a karaoke thing.
Mike McClellan got us in there.
No kidding.
Yes, he did. I remember the text message. And we went in there and we packed the goddamn place.
Yeah, you did.
And I remember getting, literally the next day, so when you guys want to play again? Then we play another show. So when you want to play again, it's like, that's what I fucking thought. I hate that. That's one thing we go through. What do you guys play? I don't know. You're too heavy. Ugh. Dude, we've been going through it for 5 freaking years right now.
But you've also earned some reputation.
We have.
Yeah.
And we played in places that we probably shouldn't be playing because we're just a cover band. We've actually had bands that are signed open up for us.
No kidding.
On a big stage in Akron at the Empire. Yeah.
Oh, that's badass.
On a show that I put together, by the way.
There you go.
Good friends of ours. But I'm just saying, I hate it when people say you're just a cover band. That drives me nuts.
Look at it a little bit different, though. Surprising. Which
Yeah.
you have. And if somebody comes in to see your band, by the way, the band's name's Dirt. Make sure you check them out. You go in and you come in to see Dirt. If you're thinking you're gonna see a cover band,
right?
And then you guys throw what you throw at them.
And I like to make the people the stage. That's what I like to do. I like to go around and get everybody
You do that
involved.
a lot.
I'm worse now.
That's one thing.
You haven't seen us in a minute. I'm
true.
Worse now.
Man. When you talk, he's not kidding.
I've climbed shit. I just don't care. I do Lenny Dean stuff. I do. I'm not even joking.
Wow.
I get into the moment and it is what it is.
Hey man, look at it this way. Especially in light of what you just went through.
Right. I'm having a good time.
Make your mark. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm doing.
Make it.
I'm not getting any younger, and I'm going to keep doing this till I can't do it no more. But every show we do, I'm just going to keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. We haven't played, it's probably been 3 weeks now since we played last time, and that was an abbreviated set. I think we only played like 10 songs. Saturday, we're doing our normal like 30 to 35 songs.
It's awesome.
For like 3 hours. I'm going to be tired as hell.
You know, many few bands can do 30 songs.
Dude, it's hard.
That's awesome.
It's so hard, man. But Dan does a good job when he puts our set list together of grouping the songs accordingly. Thank God. And it's not getting to the point where I look at the set list and go, God damn, I can't do this.
Yeah, you already said what that was like before.
Yeah.
Well, if and or when you get to that point, again, you know what? Make another shift, make another adjustment, reset. That's the beauty of art and music. I get it. Look, I get it. I'm an artist. I understand. Give me a piece of paper and a pencil, I can draw. But learning how to do things like this, learning how to sculpt, learning how to do things digital, I feel a challenge for a lot of artists is when you get very proficient at one thing, whatever that is.
Right.
It could be athletics, it could be art, it could be music, it could be singing, it could be I know people that are incredible guitarists, and they'll say to me, man, I always wanted to play the drums. Well, why don't you? I already play guitar.
Yeah.
Well, learn something new.
Right.
There's that fear, and there's also that if you've spent time, and as we've gotten older, one thing that we learn as we get older, it's impossible to really gain wisdom unless you have time and you have experiences.
Right.
So to try to share that, my point is when you are very good at something and you've understood it's taken me years to get to this point,
right,
and then all of a sudden you fall in love with something else or potentially fall in love with something else, and there's that, oh shit, man, am I going to spend another next 5 years learning how to do this? But you know what? Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Spend 5. Who cares if it's 5 years?
Yeah.
At least it's not 6. And you get to learn something new. and you get to expand and reset and change your art and have a new direction for it.
Right.
Who knows? You guys might actually have it at a point sometime where you actually have a DJ with you. Probably not, but maybe.
You never know.
I've seen it happen.
We've had people ask us to play out of state.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll tell Dan, I'm like, dude, we're just a cover band. But things have changed because when you go to a bar or any kind of a, let's say, concert venue, I hate to say it, people don't give a shit about original music like they used to. It's changed in the last 5 years. I've noticed it with us playing out.
I think a lot of it is just because of what we talked about, how everybody has their own library
That too.
on their hip.
And a lot of people want to hear what they know.
That too, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
They don't want to go to a bar and hear, we've taken some original acts with us at just bars, and it's flopped. People have left, and they don't give a shit.
I do the exact same thing when I'm running a training session. The music that I pick, I'll pick a classic rock song that has a techno remix to it.
Right
because they'll understand it's more than a feeling, but it's got a beat, because they don't need to think.
Right.
It's something that they can just move to.
Right.
So I get that.
Right.
It makes sense. And again, because everybody has their own library in their pocket, they want to hear their library.
I've seen it so much since we've, and, a lot of people, I don't want to say get jealous on us, but we've heard shit talkers, and it gets back to us. And
brother envies are.
I've heard that I suck.
Of course.
There's other bands that I was in before Dirt that I sucked, and they're currently not doing anything right now. So right there, that's what I say. I'm still playing.
You know what, John?
I had to do that. Sorry.
There are a group of fighters that I took halfway around the world.
Same thing.
To go compete on a tropical island paradise on a national television screen, and some of those guys will tell you I'm a piece of shit and I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Do the math on that.
You'll have that.
Right. So when you have envy and by the way, the thing that I always go back to, it's not even envy. You know what it is? It's shame.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
It's shame because it's not necessarily that you or I or anybody else are doing something that these people can't do. It's something that they won't do.
I will say, I'm not going to say the band's name, but I don't know if you remember when I was on WOBC back in the day.
I do remember that.
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
There was a band that I'm not going to say their name, but I promoted the hell out of them. And they used to go through member changes constantly. And I remember getting hit up one day. Mind you, I've never sang in a band in my life. And this guy kept bugging me. Just try out. I'm like, man, all right. So I did. And it bombed. I sucked. I admit it. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
First time.
But we got a little EP out of it, as I still have, which nobody's going to hear. Only a few people have heard it. But anyways, I know this dude.
When you put out the box set, that's will be the...
right on. Stuff's gotten back to me. And I know, we're still friends on Facebook. I know he probably unfollowed me because he's tired of hearing about my band and what we're doing. That band, going back to WOBC days, they would have been together for close to 30 years, and they've done absolutely goddamn nothing. Here I am, and I suck. I suck, though, and we're still playing. So I always keep that in the back of my mind.
That's where the shame comes in.
I always do, and you're right.
That's where it comes in.
You're exactly right. And I know he's watching, and I won't say no names. I know he's not watching this. It doesn't matter. I always keep that in the back of my mind. Whenever we book a show or there's something posted on my page about my band, I'm sure he unfollowed me. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to me because I'm still playing.
You know what? I hope that my haters are following me. I really do.
I love it. Right.
Well, it's like what the great modern day prophet Cat Williams said. If you've got 100 people hating on you, what's your problem?
Exactly.
Why don't you have 1,000?
Right.
And if you have 1,000 people hating on you, why don't you have 1,000,000?
That means they're watching too.
Right. That was one. And again, if you're so concerned on what I'm doing.
Right. What the hell are you doing?
Because make no mistake, there are people out there in the industries that I'm interested in that I listen, I learn, I follow, I emulate, and I look up to.
Right.
But you know what I don't do? Example, I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
If I was to come right out and say, Joe Rogan sucks,
right.
Listen to my podcast, I'm way better.
Yeah. I know.
It would be absurd for me to say that.
Exactly.
The only reason why I would say that is because that man just made $100 million on his podcast deal. Right. That's why. So, again, talk shit about you, great. What are they up to? Talk shit about me, great.
Yeah.
What are you up to?
We've been called a joke. We suck. I suck. Shit. I can go on and on and on about the stuff that's gotten back to me, and it's fine.
Sure.
I get it. But we're still playing. And every time we book a show, I know me when
there's the victory right there. You're still playing.
It is. It's like a gift. When I got those 3 at the Sly Fox in one night, I'm like, Lord, give me another beer and a shot. I just did a good job. You know?
Of course.
And never thought I'd ever play there either. We've been at the Lorraine Palace too. I don't know if you've ever been there. How big that place is.
It's been a while since I've been in.
We've played there. I think twice. I think we got another one coming in February.
They're really trying to clean up that whole downtown.
I'll tell you what.
There.
Yes, they are. Nice. I'll tell you what. You talk about feeling like a rock star. Good Lord.
That's cool.
Yes, we played there. Yeah, we played there a couple weeks ago. I'll let you know when the date is.
I'm in. Yeah,
it's in February. Right now, it's just an evening with dirt. We might get an opener though. But
I'm in, man, for sure. Dude, I would love that.
And you would probably shit if you saw me on a stage like that because you've known me since we were kids.
Yeah.
And that stage is bigger than most bars we play in. Literally.
I'm trying to remember the last time I was in there. 20 years maybe?
Just looking out, standing out there and looking at how big it's like. It's
deceptively how big that is.
It's like the Agora is what it reminds me of.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much closer though.
It's right. It's vintage. I mean the sound there is top notch.
Okay. Well, and again,
it's your own green room, dude. It's
badass.
I can go on and on about that place, but they love us. We've had decent draws there, and we're trying to get on the Rock on the River. Hasn't quite worked yet.
I was going to ask about that if you had something working.
It hasn't worked yet.
Okay.
We're getting there, hopefully. But I feel
I might have a little pull with that. I've been... Well,
that would be nice.
The Lorraine Arts Council's been back and forth with me quite a bit. I've been talking to them because they had that LC.
That'd be nice.
Not far from there as well.
Right on.
Putting on a show and things.
Okay.
I've got some people that I can. I'll throw some stuff out.
That'd be nice. I'd really appreciate that.
I can't guarantee, but look, they're coming after me. They want me for something, which is good.
There you go.
So I'll say, hey,
yeah, I know these guys.
And plus, you played there before, right down there.
Yeah, we played, and actually we played. Shit, it was like 4 years ago when Rock on the River's going on. There's that 6th Street. There's that. Right outside the Palace, there's that alley. We played there. I think there was I can't remember what tribute band was playing that night. I want to say Aerosmith. And we, as people were, parking and walking to their car, to the venue, they could hear us, and people were stopping in. Cool. Like, Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
So that helped us get into the Palace, but it hasn't helped us get into Rock on the River yet.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
So that would be great.
Any strings I can pull.
I'm afraid people.
And of course, anybody out there that's associated with Rockin' on the River, anything you can do, you can reach out to me through the show directly.
Help us, please.
John or Dirk directly as well. So, any friends, fans out there that want to be of assistance, please do.
God, if I could play on that stage just one time, I don't care if you play 10 songs for 25 minutes. Still,
well, let's get you there. And you know what? Let's get Welly stock. Let's put that. I do this shit. I stand by that. I still, if you go out, and again, for people out there that are around the world, jump on Google Earth, take a look at the Wellington Fairgrounds. That's a festival spot.
I do have to say, too, since you have me sitting here, the stuff we've talked about being younger, we've kind of come full circle. You've always talked about doing something like this.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I talked about being in a band, but you always knew my love for music. And to have you have me on your podcast talk about my band.
Surreal, isn't
It's surreal.
It is. I was thinking about that when you were on your way over.
Like, right.
Yeah.
God
right.
damn.
Great. Well, things change.
Yeah, obviously.
Things do come full circle, but
right.
You know what? This is also a good lesson in we can learn, we can progress. But
right.
At the root, at the core,
right.
We're kind of the same people.
We are.
You know?
We're just regular guys, man.
For the most part.
All right. All right.
Yeah, for the most part, I would agree with that.
All right.
But again, yeah, so I said an hour, we're at 2 now. Not bad.
Really?
Yeah. Time flies, but look, again, I could sit here and chat all night. The greatest thing about having the this outlet right here is I
appreciate this.
It's fun to be able to catch up. It's also fun to be able to talk about projects and things and you know, and talk about real shit. You know, talk about some stuff that we've experienced. And again, you can take my lip service if you want. Check out his band. They are fantastic. If you are into anything that he's talking about, if you're into hard rock, metal, or just having a fun time, you will have
Slayer,
a fun time.
Megadeth, Metallica, Anthrax, Sabbath, Clutch, Rage Against the Machine, Drowning Pool. We do it all, man.
And originals.
Green Jelly.
And by the way, since you're here, I'm going to call you on the carpet right now.
Uh-oh.
I have a theme song. I need you guys
to do my
theme song.
Uh-oh.
I want Dirt to cover. I'll go over that with you off the air.
Right on.
I got you know, I have obviously for the last 15 years of my life, when I go and I meet people, all I hear is Scotty doesn't know. From that damn Euro Trip movie.
Right on.
That's all I hear. So that's why I when people would say Scotty doesn't know, I'd say no. Scotty knows. Scotty doesn't care.
Right.
There's a difference.
It's a big
That's
difference.
what I would say, and then I turn it into that's where the Scotty doesn't show thing came on. So I have I even have lyrics and everything written for some. I can throw some stuff to you, but
awesome.
I want to have my own theme song, and you can. I've been saying from day one, I want John and I want Dirt to do my theme song.
That'd be fun.
It would be awesome.
You almost did our logo.
I played around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Well, you guys did you do a show with the band Assault? The younger kids? You know who they are, though?
I know who they are. We've never crossed paths, though.
I designed their logo.
Did you really?
They're one of the guys that owned one of the gyms I was training at. His son is the singer and guitarist. For
nice.
And he was, at the time, he was like 16.
I think Chris Hunter is into them.
Yeah,
I've seen their stuff I've seen their stuff online.
They're good. They're young. They're good.
Yeah, they're good.
They thrash though for sure. And that was the thing because when his dad approached me about doing the logo, I didn't want to shit on him, but I'm like I wanted to listen to him first.
Right. See what kind of feel.
I'll do a logo.
Right.
But I'd rather do a logo for a band that I dig.
Yeah.
And of course you see the Assault logo. It's a take on the Metallica logo. You can tell with that. But,
right.
I did their logo.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, cool band.
Nice.
I feel bad because I've never seen them perform yet.
Yeah.
But I did it was.
They don't know that.
Yeah. Well, you line something up with Assault opening up for Dirt, man.
That'd be cool.
2 birds with 1 stone. It'd be sweet.
You never know.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So, again, I can't thank you enough for coming on. But before
man.
Before we get hold on, wait just a second before we get going. One thing that we want to be able to make sure we do have on every show here is my top 5. And we have a top 5 for today.
Oh, shit. Top 5 of what?
Well, it varies every day.
This should be interesting.
It's always do something different every time.
All right.
Today, today's top 5, very simple. Top 5 celebrities that I want to fight. top 5 for today. Again, I want to thank John. Thank you so much for coming on, brother. It's been awesome.
Oh yeah.
Again, check out the band Dirt. If you're out there, you guys are on Facebook. Do you have a website too? Or?
Yes, we do. It's www.dirtband.com.
Dirtband.com.
Yeah.
So check them out. Plenty of shows coming up. It's going to be awesome to see you guys perform again. My theme song, I'm looking forward to that too. Again, stay tuned for all the new shows, everything we have coming up. Thank you to all my guests that are coming in. Thanks again for John being here. And remember, we drive on parkways and we park on driveways. Have a good one, guys. We love you.
Good night.
About, hey, it's fucking distracting having somebody walking up behind Bryce in the middle of the fucking scene. Give me a fucking answer. What don't you get about it? Oh, good for you. And how was it? I hope it was fucking good because it's useless now, isn't it? Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur.